Why, hello there, everyone. Welcome back. I forgot to get coffee even. Oh, gosh. So we are seeing some venting of SpaceX's Starship serial number 5. It's been a long morning for me. How are you guys doing? I've been up since basically 4:45 this morning to cover the Perseverance launch, and here we are getting ready to see some more history being made, hopefully, with a successful static fire of this vehicle. I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for tuning in this morning and hanging out. It looks like that venting, we still don't really know for sure, but we're kind of guessing we're within about a 30-minute window. That's why we have a big old fat ish next to our T-minus. But it is probably time that we at least start doing some of our pre-test checklist. So, okay, let's do the first one. I can officially confirm, based on my training and years of Jedi mastery, that the pointy end is up and the flamey end is down. Although this is a hard one, of course, to verify. It's difficult because it's more of the blocky end up and flatty end down. But I promise the flamey portion of the rocket, the full flow stage combustion cycle Raptor engine, methane-powered Raptor engine, is inside the bottom of that cylinder, basically. There's only a single one of them attached there, but the flamey end is down on this beast. So just a quick rundown for those of you that are unfamiliar with what we're looking at here and what we're talking about here. This is SpaceX's upcoming prototype vehicle. This is their Starship vehicle. It'll be their next generation of rockets. What we're looking at, the big old huge shiny thing on the left, that is the Starship prototype, and kind of in the foreground of that is the tank farm. So those tanks, they look like they're right next to the rocket. They're actually a decent away, probably 100 meters away. They're still kind of too close in my opinion, but they're a good amount of ways away. And this is kind of where we're at so far. This is the test articles we've seen to date. We've seen Starhopper. It's the only one to actually leave the ground, at least on purpose. That flew twice last year. We just passed the 1-year anniversary of its first hop. The first time ever a full flow stage combustion cycle engine has left the ground. So basically, since then we've seen just tons of different prototypes and tons of these like test articles. So the prototypes are kind of the Mark 1 and Mark 2. We saw the Mark 1 at the press event last year with Elon Musk. I interviewed him right in front of that thing. It was really cool, but they ended up testing that to failure just to kind of see how their welds were holding up, and it didn't do very well, which is why they have made iterative progress. Mark 2 is being dismantled, I guess, or scrapped right now, and that one was built in Florida. So they had two teams working on kind of how do you build these giant things, because they're 9 meters wide, about 30 meters tall. They're really, really big, and this is just a tiny portion. The whole vehicle altogether would be about 4 times taller than this when it's all stacked on top of the booster and when it has its nose cone. And since then, there have been pressure test articles. There's been just kind of to see some new welding materials and new welding techniques. They've had about 4. Only one of them has actually survived serial number 2. The rest of them, they all tested till failure. Serial number 1 popped. Serial number 3 was another. So there's only been 3 other full-scale prototypes like this that are now the serial number, and those are the ones that have the cleaner welds. They're nicer-looking vehicles. In February, the serial number 1 popped. April, serial number 3 popped. And May, serial number 4 had a big pop. That one went kaboomy. So today we're hoping that this is, we're going to actually see the static fire of this vehicle. I'm really, really, really excited. People are asking in the chat if this ends up... Oh, I do have that echo. Sorry, I don't know what that's from. Sorry for the echo. I don't know what that's coming from, but let's see here. People were saying, wait, maybe it wasn't on my end? I don't know. Let me know if you guys have echoes. But sorry if there's an echo here. Okay, well, maybe people had two of my streams pulled up or something. Who knows? But so we definitely need to finish up our checklist here. We definitely have no personnel on the pad, so that's good. We also are seeing the ground tanks clouds, so that means we're definitely pushing. And I don't know if we've actually seen venting on the vehicle yet, but we will keep our eyes, because that's another good sign. So yeah, we're pretty far into the checklist. This is further than we've been in a few days here. Oh, we've just been waiting for this thing to happen. Give me 1 second here. I got to try and get the there's another way I can do these streams here. Where's the comments? I want to get those. Let's see. We do have a report from Rachel and Jean, who are running our stream. These are the people running my camera here for us. That's Rachel and Jean at Space Padre Island. They just said that they just saw a boat like drive right up to the pad. So that's not good. Please don't do that. If you are watching, guys, this vehicle is about to static fire. If you drive a boat up to it, you're going to scrub the whole thing, and you'll be the person that everyone, thousands of us, are screaming at. No. Come on, please don't do this to us. Oh man, they're sending us a pic of the boat. Oh man, I really hope that boat turns around and gets out of there so they don't. Oh man, range is no go if that boat's in there. That would be a wayward boat for sure. Let's see here. Man. One second, guys. I'm trying to juggle a handful of things here. Oh man. Okay. Well, jeez. That's no good. That is very much no good. But meanwhile, we actually haven't seen the rocket. Let's see. We actually haven't seen the article be venting yet, so I'm going to hold off on that right now. Okay, so let's get to a couple of your things here real quick. Thank you so much to Happy Hacking Video Blog. Really appreciate you sticking around for 2 streams now this morning. Let's see here. Oh wait, here we go. This is actually the one you didn't hear. There we go again. Rocket paint drying aficionados. Thank you so much again. Dalek, yeah, you can hop in our Discord by going to patreon.com/everydayastronaut and hopping on into the Discord there. I'll look forward to hearing from you there. So. Happy again. Mrs. when our countdown clock said ish or whatever we had at that one time. But I think, yeah, so like I said, this countdown clock is very, very, let's see here. So yeah, this is a very rough time estimate. We really have about no idea. We're waiting to kind of hear other signs. So it could go off in, we're guessing around 10 a.m. local, but we have no idea really how to track this. All right. Letting some people know. Okay, this is from Jimbo saying that I had an echo, but I don't think we have an echo. It may have been you had 2 tabs pulled up or something, but thank you for letting us know. I appreciate you guys always looking out for us. There is no echo. Thanks from Nicholas. Yeah, I really do hope we see a good static fire today. So what camera do we use that has such a big zoom? A good question. Thank you so much for it. So what we're doing out here, it's a Zcam E2. It's a high-speed camera, so it can shoot 120 frames per second in 4K. It's a micro Four Thirds sensor on a 500 millimeter lens, so that's about 1,000 millimeter equivalent. And I don't even think they're actually all the way zoomed in. They're right at the edge of the exclusion zone. They are outside safely from the exclusion zone. Rachel and Gene know the exact coordinates of where they cannot exceed for their own safety, and also, of course, so they don't cause a scrub in the mission or in the test. They know exactly where to be. We've cleared this all and everything, so everything is good to go. They are right at the edge of the exclusion zone. But 1,000 millimeters of zoom of telephoto is a lot, actually. So, so we're at this point. Sorry, I'm also kind of trying to pay attention to what's happening up on screen. We're basically looking now for venting to come from the vehicle, and that'll be a sign of things to come. So, once we see that, once we actually see venting from the vehicle, we're probably, within 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So if our timing is anywhere close, if our clock is even anywhere close, we should start to see venting from the vehicle. Oh, look at the top. Look at the top right now. I just saw venting. So we probably, our timer's probably close. We're probably within 5 minutes here. So we did just see venting, so I better let that go up. We did just see venting. Okay. Let's see here. So let's keep going here. Keep the great work, mate. Much love from Melbourne. Thank you so much. Hello, Aussies. I appreciate it. Thanks for saying hi. Let's see. Stonk the boat from Linus. Thank you. Hopefully it's gone by now. Space Cowboy Bori Truno is in that boat. Absolutely not. Well, maybe Bori Truno, yeah. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, good question from Vertical Whale. Why is it so difficult to make the static fire work? Well, these are, again, bespoke prototype vehicles with so many new technologies. The Raptor engine itself is still relatively new. It's kind of in its infancy as far as rocket engines go. Let's see. So, so really, I mean, there's still just so many systems. Each one of these things is basically hand built at this point, Although they're trying to make a production line so they can kind of crank these out, but there's so many sensors, so many things, and it just has to have all the right conditions, and they're still just kind of learning how to fuel this thing up, how to get the engine going, and there's literally like thousands of things that need to be right, and only one way that it can go right, and thousands of ways that it can go wrong. So it's still just in this prototype stage where things are new and things are difficult and things aren't always working. So it's a bit frustrating for those of you watching. Yeah, trust me. If you try being, when I was down there last year for Star Hopper, watching you guys realize that I drove first I drove 2 days to get to Texas. Then I would drive out to Boca Chica from either Brownsville or South Padre Island, which takes about an hour, sit out there in the sun and the heat all day long, trying to not have cameras and stuff overheat, and do that for weeks. I was out there for a total, I think I added up, I think I was out in Boca Chica area for 5 weeks last year, just waiting for, it ended up being 2 events. I saw 2 or 3 events. So if you want to talk about waiting and impatience, you guys have no idea. This is great. We're seeing tons of action down there lately. I would sit around and wait for absolutely nothing for days and days and days and days. So, this is we're basically waiting to see, if today's going to be the day. Again, that drone could cause a problem, actually, believe it or not. Or not the drone, but the boat. Oh, man. How do people not know? Man, I'm sorry, but if I'm driving up close to something that's steaming like that, I would be like, yeah, no, I'm not getting anywhere near that thing. You have to remember this vehicle, when it's under pressure, I don't want to say it's basically essentially a bomb, but it has a lot of potential energy. It's highly pressurized propellants. You don't want to be anywhere near this thing. That's why people leave the pad when this thing's about to test. Even before the rocket engine fires, it's still a giant pressure vessel. There's still a huge amount of energy stored in this vehicle, let alone the propulsive, the actual energy of the chemical bond if it were to combust. Even just rupturing, we've seen how energetic those ruptures can be when something this size has a rupture when it's under high pressure. So yeah, man, oh man, they got to get out of there. Oh man. Gosh. Okay, so the boat is still there. This will likely, if the boat's still there, this will abort the test. As a matter of fact, you can see venting from the vehicle right now. See that and that looks like COP venting. They might be depressing because of the boat. They might having to depressurize because the boat's there. Oh man. I think they aborted. They can't have people near it. You cannot have people inside the exclusion zone. It is just too dangerous. This is any rocket, even a non-prototype rocket that's been, flown for decades. You can't have that. You cannot have people near there. So yeah, to reiterate, there is a fishing boat or a boat with like some people on it that basically drove right up to the edge there, and they're like way too close to the vehicle. And SpaceX does know about it, and it's likely that they just aborted the vehicle and are depressurizing it right now to keep the people safe. So until they get the boat out of there, which might require a full detanking, and then someone to go out there, tell the people to leave, this is currently full-blown abort. Now, again, we don't need to, use slanderous words against the people at the boat. They probably have no idea. If they're not locals, or even if they are locals and they didn't check on the NOTAM, the Notice to Airmen, as it's called, or the exclusion zone of boating and practices, they would have no idea. They would have no idea. So, I mean, let's not be quick and call them idiots here, guys. Trust me, I've been down there. Most of the people down there have no idea what's going on down here. The people on South Spadre Island, when I eat at a restaurant, I'm like, hey, so are you guys staying in tune to what SpaceX is doing out there with the rocket? And they're like, what rocket? The big, the giant rocket that you can see like from your island right there? I have no idea. They have no idea. It still hasn't quite hit them. I think it might be changing, but when I was there last summer and in September and stuff, people just don't know. So for those of you that don't know, it sounds like we have an abort. Hang on. We're going to go ahead and do this because I think it's aborted. Hopefully that's not too long. Oh, man. Shoot. All we want is for this thing to fire today. Okay. Dang. Okay, so while we're waiting here to get an update, Brad says, will you do any more pure Kerbal streams? I do those occasionally with my Patreons, especially when I'm trying to make videos and stuff. All right. Sorry, I've been doing some communications. The boat is currently getting worked out. It is they can't let the stuff sit there too long. You know, they're cryogenic fuels, and the vehicle's relatively safe, obviously. But they're gonna get the people out of there, so. All right. So again, big thank you to Rachel and Jean, who are here giving us these updates, shooting this camera. So please send them some likes. Follow them on Twitter here at @SpacePadreIL. Just below, look on the top left portion of your screen. They're the ones running my camera here. So we owe them a huge thanks, big gratitude. They're the ones that are making this all possible. So. And they're also the ones that are letting us know about the boat, and they're working on getting that boat out of there. So we, hopefully we get back on track. This is insane. So, like I said, there is a boat that is inside the exclusion zone, and that caused the abort. The vehicle is ready. I'll bet you the flight controllers are crying because they've been trying to get this thing to fire for a long time. Oh man, you can see the boat on Lab Padre's Sapphire camera. You can see the boat. It is way too close. Oh man. All right. Any plans to make a video on ISRO? Absolutely. That is still very much. I'm waiting. I think I definitely want to do something when we get some more progress on Gaganyaan, the crewed program. And I'll do kind of an overview of ISRO. I need to do something for ISRO because ISRO is doing some incredible stuff. What am I looking most forward to in 2021? I'm hoping. So I don't know if I'm gonna go out on a limb. You guys might hate me for this. If SLS manages to launch in 2021, I think that'll be the rocket to see live because that will be insane. If that is assuming I think the most insane would probably be anything Starship. If Starship ends up doing, I don't think there's any chance of it going. Well, maybe by 2021 going orbital, maybe. But yeah, so I would say Starship going orbital. If that does slash the 20-kilometer hop. Whenever that happens, those two things will be insane. So that'll be the super heavy booster getting into orbit, or just the 20-kilometer hop with like Starship serial number 8 or whatever has the Elanurons, the flippity flappity air brakety things. Whenever those two are kind of my top, those would be huge. But then I think SLS would actually be next, and then after that, any other methane powered rocket. So whether it be New Glenn or Vulcan, Vulcan will probably fly before New Glenn. And Vulcan, if you can bet on one thing, it's probably, of all of those things to happen in 2021, the one I'd say is the safest bet of reaching orbit first would actually be Vulcan. Because that's pretty much a lot closer to an assured thing compared to really just about anything else at this point. Thank you so much to Dennis. Max, hey Tim, while we're waiting, could you talk about what it's like to talk to Elon? It seems like everything you ask. He seems to like everything you ask. Lots of support from Australia. Thanks, Max. You know, honestly, it's about exactly like what I thought it'd be like to talk to him in person. He's just like you see, in videos and stuff. What I like though is, especially off camera, and the first interview I did, you saw the entire interaction I had with him. So you can see where he thought he was off camera, and we ended up getting permission to show that off camera part. And that's my favorite part. He does change a little bit. He got a little more at ease. And you can tell he just nerds out over this stuff. He loves this stuff. He is so passionate about rockets, and he knows his stuff. And as soon as the cameras were off and he just started going, talking all about, at the time it was the header tanks and all these different things, you can tell he knows everything inside and out, and he's excited to share his love and his knowledge about his rockets. So I think that's awesome. So that was really cool. But the second time, the circumstances were a little different. For DM2, the crew mission, I talked to him. What was supposed to be T-minus 1 day for the first launch ended up being T-minus like 3 or 4 days or whatever. And he was really focused. I have never seen, in any interview I've ever seen, I've never seen him that focused. You could tell he was, normally his mind's kind of floating around and bouncing around. You can tell he's churning on stuff and churning on other things. But this time it was like he was laser focused on DM2. And I think he was really, I don't think he was like nervous, but you could just tell there's a lot of pressure because you're now flying humans. It had to go right, Obviously Elon is familiar with failure with rockets and he knows the pressure. So you could just, I don't know, it's great. I mean, I really can talk to the guy person to person very well. I get what he's excited about, and I think he understands that I'm excited along with him. So we just kind of share a mutual enthusiasm, and that's just fun. You gotta just think the guy's brilliant, and it's fun to get his gears turning. That's for sure. Ed says, thanks for covering all these launches. Thanks for your technical explanations. You're welcome, Ed. There's going to be a lot more. Let's see here. There's going to be a lot more coming from me. You guys are going to get sick of me this week because, like I said, this week. So let's see. We already had Perseverance. We have hopefully this happening like today. Then I'm working on a video to get out about deorbiting, how you get down from orbit in time for DM2 splashdown, which I'll do a stream of as well on Sunday. So you're going to get tons of content from me. The video about splashdown is really cool. So stay tuned for that because I tell you how exactly you get back from orbit. It's not just like, stop. It's like I go into everything. I talk about how the heat shield actually works, the thrusters, the parachutes. I talk about the orbital mechanics involved. I talk about all the specific systems that are specific to the Dragon capsule, but they're pretty applicable to almost every vehicle. So we kind of do generic things, but we're also talking specifically about all the subsystems on the Crew Dragon capsule as well. So it's a good video. We are working on it as we speak, and we're hoping to try to get it out by Saturday. It's going to be a really rushed video. I started scripting on like Monday. It's been nuts. So I shot it last night. We'll see. We will see, guys. It's like this is a crazy week for me, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here and spending time. So let's see. This is from PC Space Race. PC Space Race. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return. From Leonardo da Vinci. That's really cool. I've never heard that quote. That's a really cool quote. All right, let's keep going here. Yu Yang, did I miss your super chat? Hang on, let me make sure I'm not. Yu Yang, what's your thing in on YouTube? Okay, I'll keep going here. Space Viking, launch Starhopper at the boat. No, we don't want to injure anybody. So yeah, we're working on getting the boat out of there. Hang on. Okay, so let me keep going here. Matthew Lanning says, a difference between a bomb and a rocket equals a tiny hole. Yeah, it's actually a very fair point. Thanks for the reminder. Macho Taco just joined. What happened? So they were ready to go, basically fueling up, And then a boat got really close within the exclusion zone, and it sounds like they're working on getting them out of there. And then they're going to try again to fuel up. So, yeah. So, super cleary photo, a boat tow fund. All right, it sounds like we are now having the boats leaving. Hopefully they're getting back to operations here. There we go. We did it, internet. Literally. We literally did it, internet. I wish I could tell you some of the... That's crazy. That's awesome. All right. So hopefully they'll get back into it here. Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, hopefully we're getting back in now, baby. Oh, that's amazing. All right. Let's go back into some pad operations. We need this. We need this. That's awesome. Okay. Everyone, let's hear it for Rachel and Jean. They got that boat out of there. And Footy Nut Guy, who let the boats out? Well, this time it was Space Spadre Island. So if you guys just send some love to Space Spadre Island right now, because on Twitter they just saved the day. And I should be hesitant to say this, but it was with permission. It was with permission. The vehicle was safed. No protocols were disobeyed. Once the vehicle was safe, we got the other boat out of there as quickly as possible. So, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? That is so cool. Great job, Rachel and Jean. Thank you guys for hopefully we can get back into the countdown here now. Elusive, before you fire away, teach them a lesson. No. So no, human lives is irreplaceable. We can always wait if necessary, but I'm just glad that we're getting back on track now. So, oh man. Pointy end up, flamey end down, confirmed. Absolutely. Thank you so much from Soyija, Souljoy. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Coast Guard Patrol Front from Chad. Thank you. They do need a Coast Guard person monitoring the exclusion zone the whole time. All right. Are they using the same engines as the Falcon Heavy, or is this a completely new engine? Jeffrey, great question. Thank you, Jeffrey. This is a completely different engine. This is the Raptor engine, and it's quite easily, the world's most advanced rocket engine. It is a full flow stage combustion cycle rocket engine running on methane. So the Merlin is actually a relatively simple rocket engine as far as rocket engines go. It's an open cycle engine, meaning the gas, they burn off some fuel and oxidizer and make a gas generator, and that spins a turbine, which spins the pumps to fuel the engine. And the exhaust from that turbine just gets dumped out the side. And it's relatively easy that way. Full flow actually has two separate pre-burners, so meaning all of the fuel and all of the oxidizer run through the things that spin the turbines, and that exhaust is what goes into the combustion chamber. It's extremely fuel rich and extremely oxidizer rich, and by the time it comes and hits the combustion chamber, it's in a hot gaseous form, and it has great gas-gas interaction and is extremely high efficiency. So it's a way more complicated system. It's only the third time one's ever been attempted to be made. They're now beyond like serial number 30. And really, I mean, genuinely, it's making a huge difference for trying to get a vehicle of this size and this capability. You kind of have to have an engine that is this this powerful and this efficient. So if you need to know more about the engine on this, I have an awesome video. I promise it's probably I think it's one of my most viewed videos. Is SpaceX's Raptor engine the king of rocket engines? And we teach you all about why this engine is so different, why they chose methane, why they went with full flow stage combustion cycle. We go through every single little detail along the way. And I promise by the end of that video, you'll have a much better understanding of not only rocket engines in general, but specifically the rocket engine powering the Starship program. So it's a really, 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 really big deal, actually. So yeah, and that's also why we see so many delays and stuff, because it's still so experimental, still so prototype. It's it's just likely to still have some teething problems. So we're gonna push our countdown thing back here a little bit. I see a good question from Nicola just off in the chat. Can you explain Starhopper? Starhopper was just the most basic bones version of testing out a Starship prototype. So it was the very early prototype, just basically thrown together, literally built by a water tower company. And it was heavy and inefficient, but all it needed to do is prove how to kind of fuel up the vehicle, how to throttle up the engine and control the Raptor engine in flight. And it was just a really, really, really simple prototype vehicle. And, well, I still say simple because it still had the world's most advanced rocket engine attached to it, but it's basically a flying water tower. So, yeah, so that's what it was. And after they kind of proved that out, and after it did its 2 hops, it did a 20-meter hop and a 150-meter hop, at that point they went into the prototyping phase of Mark 1 and Mark 2, and then eventually into the full-size prototypes that we're seeing now, serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is serial number 5. So it was just an early prototype. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going here. So what was the point of the test? The test hasn't happened yet, but we're trying to just see them fire the Raptor engine. Again, remember, there's a lot of things under a high amount of pressure, cryogenic fuels, a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things happening. We are seeing venting now again down at the farm, so that's probably a good sign that they're moving back into starting to work on fueling. So we're looking here, we're trying to see, paying attention to these clouds. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, so the point of this test, we're hoping to see, just the Raptor engine. Oh man, hang on, is that detanking? This might not be fuel up, this might be detanking. We'll pay attention to the valve there that we're seeing spew. That might be detanking. We'll keep our eyes on it, though. So the point is just to fire this engine, make sure all the systems on this vehicle are ready, and then once they do a static fire, hopefully very soon thereafter, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later or something, a few days later, they'll do a hop with this vehicle. This vehicle actually has landing legs tucked up underneath that skirt on the bottom, and they'll be able to pop out. So it'll leave the pad, do another 150-meter hop, just like Starhopper, but this one's a lot more advanced materials, a lot more closer to a flight-worthy prototype than Starhopper ever was. So it's a big leap up in manufacturing and a big leap up in the actual technology. So no, just so you guys know, that is not a leak. There is a valve there, like on that white tank. You can see the white tank. You can see spewing. We saw this when it was detanking the other day, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Matthew Lanning. boat equals Jeff Bezos slash Boeing's attempt at crewed vehicles. Hey, come on. Come on. That's funny, but, you know, hashtag Team Space. Team Space, baby. We're all cheering for everybody. Do you think James Webb Space Telescope will launch in 2021? I don't know. James Webb Space Telescope, of course, the awesome follow-up pretty much to the Hubble. Or be like what makes Hubble obsolete pretty much. It's going to be huge and resolve almost 10, is it 2 times or 10 times more than Hubble? We're really, really, really hoping to see that thing launch. It's not happening this year. I don't think it's, I think it already got pushed back from 2021 even. I don't remember. I'm not even, at this point, I don't know. I just have no concept. Oh, man. So people are asking, like, why would they detank? So if these are cryogenic propellants, if they warm up too much or if they can cause issues when they warm up, you know, you could end up having, like, you know, valves, you know, get off of operating temperatures and things like that. Let's ask Elon. Elon, did the boat cause a scrub? Still going for static today? Boom. Let's find out. Okay. We'll see if we can get an answer on Twitter. Let's see here. This is from Hetty. Show us the other camera showing the boat. Sorry, that was a while ago. And the other camera was probably the Sapphire camera. Probably, it might have shown up actually on Rachel and Jean's other camera. We probably could have tried to pull that up. I'm sorry that I didn't think to do that. But yeah, we'll see here. From Bertalan, have you considered making a video about ESA rockets and missions? Despite being the second largest SA, not a lot of people know about it. Space Administration. Got it. You're right. ESA definitely is like, it's probably because they don't have, you know, besides the Ariane 5 and upcoming Ariane 6, there really aren't many launches that are like ESA only launches. You know, they make so many awesome payloads and do so many incredible missions that I think having your own bespoke, or not bespoke, but your like flagship launch vehicle really helps. The Ariane 5 is awesome. The Ariane 6 is going to be great. But like, you know, there's not 5 different rocket companies coming out of Europe that are all making different rockets and getting all the glitz and glamour. So I definitely should be doing a video about ESA and some of the exciting missions that they've done. I talk about like ESA, ISRO, all these other agencies. I do talk about you guys quite a bit when I do my yearly review, the Astro Awards. Check out last year's Astro Awards. I do them every year, really close to like a couple days after New Year's, once the official year is out for spaceflight. We give awards to some notable missions and stuff, and every year ESA's done some things that made it for getting an Astro Award. So another footy nut guy. I bet Jeff Bezos is in the boat. Oh, that's funny. Thank you from Giova240. Thanks for that deorbit video, Tim. Hi from Croatia. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll actually answer a lot of questions. It's a fun thing to talk about. So, let's see here. All right. So yeah, so people asking again, why would like the boat cause a scrub? There's a chance. So again, there's very specific operating temperatures, and you know, a lot of these valves are designed to only operate in cryogenic temperatures, and once things start warming up and getting outside of their operating temperatures, it can actually cause damage to certain parts and force like a scrub of the mission. So that could be something like what happened today. A lot of it there's so many valves and so many little moving parts on these vehicles that they're very finicky, you know, and that's why a part of me is very, it'll be a while. We'll have to make some vast improvements in technology before this could actually be a flight-worthy thing for point-to-point transportation. Because you can imagine being like fully loaded up with people on board going, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be in London in 30 minutes. Never mind, scrub. We're going to have to reset for tomorrow. Like, what's the point of having the world's fastest transportation system if it can't be, readily available. So they are finicky. Rockets are finicky. There's extreme pressures, extreme temperatures, extreme everythings, and we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if we hear anything more, but we'll see. All right, we should hit the guy over the head with the SpaceX drone, says Fuzz Out. No. There's ways to clear people. Sorry, Hetty Hartman, I'm a little late, but the other camera, show us the other camera. Sorry, I missed that. Daylake asks a good question. Is there any reason that SpaceX doesn't go live for the testing? Yes! This stuff they don't want published. They don't really want this stuff live. Every other company, the reason that we're so excited about this stuff is because we can see it. It's right here in public space. It's 5 miles away from South Padre Island, a big vacation island. It's just right there in public sight. Normally when this stuff happens, it's like behind closed doors at Air Force bases or, military bases or at Kennedy Space Center, somewhere where the general public can't point their cameras and see it. SpaceX, frankly, doesn't really want the public sitting here doing what we're doing, but at the same time, it does get us all excited, so they don't restrict us. But it's not like it's sanctioned. If they wanted us to see this, they'd do this. But it'd be frustrating too for the audience watching, because the audience would be like, "Why is it not going?" Because this is all a test. All this stuff is like a giant prototype test. Yeah. They just don't. Yeah. Does the reliability of the Falcon 9 carry over to the Falcon Heavy? Yeah, a lot, because Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy share almost everything in common. There's some non-commonality between the actual center core and some of the actual fuselage, of course, and some of the hardware that attaches the boosters and stuff like that. But the engines, the OctaWeb, the control systems, like almost everything is the same. So there's, that's one of the reasons why it took the Falcon Heavy so long to get going, is because they needed the Falcon 9 to be mature enough to really be able to build a Falcon Heavy out of them. And it just took that long to get to that point. So yeah. Good question. We have a new membership from RJ Moen. Thank you so much. Raymond Jones, that boat is going to be the next Falcon 9 drone ship. From Mr. Penguin, what are your thoughts on James Webb Telescope and the delayed? Yeah, we kind of talked about it a second ago. At this point, I don't know. Just whenever. I want it to. I don't know. It's sad. I want it to happen so bad, but yeah. Not the usual. The boat was threatened by chat. Yeah, it felt our energy. It felt our energy for sure. From Mike. Hey Tim, would you consider doing a video explaining JPL's CNEOS and their Sentry system in the near future? Love the videos. I don't actually know anything about CNEOS or whatever and their Sentry system. I'll have to look into that. I've got the longest list of videos in the entire world. We'll see. We'll see if we can get into something like that, but that sounds cool. Zippy McTarget, if when you come to Oz, hit me up. I've been to all the space facilities on the East Coast and want to go to Woomera. Yes. Happy to be your chauffeur. I want to go to Woomera too. I want to see one of the only remaining, what rocket was that? The UK rocket that took off, the little lipstick rocket. It was super cool. All right. Have you slept? I mean, Perseverance stream and now this. I came now. No, I haven't. I slept about 5 hours last night, maybe 4.5. Really, yeah, it was more like 4.5. I went to bed after shooting a script, woke up for Perseverance, and here we are for this. And now I have to record a podcast. We'll see. Black Arrow, thank you. Is the Black Arrow that's at Woomera, and I really do want to see that someday. This is from Tony. Maybe environmental protesters stick Zeus on them. Oh, no, I don't think they're environmental protesters. They were just misinformed. David Saxon, thank you so much for the tip. We have a new membership from Ratish Rodam. Thank you so much. Craig Brown, another new membership. Thank you very much. Stefan, pair character saying thank you. I like it when it's just spelled out here instead of the thing. It's normally a dancing little pair character. I appreciate that. Although that's not even showing up over here. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Okay, it is. All right. So we have another note here from Steve, Starman Steve. Hey, Steve. Thanks, Tim. Ghost 05. Let's light it up. Might be not a thing today. We will see. Can we get an F1 shirt in black, please? So you don't like the... What's wrong with, like... That's funny. I have every shirt in the world in black, and I feel like I have too many black shirts. I mean, is this dark blue and dark gray not good enough for you? Wait, that's what I'm wearing. No, I'm not wearing that. I'm wearing Future Martian Society. Is that not okay? Like I said, literally look at our apparel. It's like black on black on black on black on black, basically. I mean, it's mostly black. We have a green shirt. We have gray, white, gray, green, blue, but mostly black. Mostly black. I should mention too, guys, we do have, since I'm wearing this shirt today, if you guys want this shirt, shop.everydayastronaut.com. It is the Future Martian Society shirt, which is awesome because it has Arcadia Planitia on it, and the exact landing coordinates of Starship someday, at least its primate candidate landing site as we currently speak. But it also has a reminder of the exact atmosphere and gravity on Mars on your sleeve, so you have a friendly reminder if you need it, and also a reminder to wear your spacesuit. This is 10% off today by using coupon code launch day, all one word, lowercase launch day at checkout. Get 10% off that today for the next 24 hours. Also, we have brand new full flow stage combustion cycle hoodies. So the engine that's powering this beautiful, magnificent beast, we do have a new hoodie version that's absolutely incredible. So it now has the diagram on the back, a little bit updated graphic on the front. It has on the sleeve here, it shows the specific impulse, chamber pressure, and thrust, which I think is super cool. And now we even have updated tags and hoodie strings. These are super premium. These are hand done here in the United States. We do not do print on demand. These are premium garments, hand packaged, hand everything, hand done, hand print, screen printed, hand sewn. So if you guys want to help me support what I do, if you want to support what I do, consider grabbing some awesome merch or the Removal for Flight keychain. These are brand new too, which is pretty cool. I was ready for something new like this. Again, I really like the clasping unit on it. They're pretty high end and cool. So get your own Removal for Flight. And we still have face hole Nada covers. Or face hole cover Nada masks, I mean. So if you need to put something in front of your face hole, we have you covered with an awesome mask that one of them this is the exact latch on the International Space Station, the hatch that you cannot open because it'd be very bad. It says failure to equalize pressure before unlatching can result in crew injury and equipment damage. So that's what we have on a face mask for you, as well as normal. And then another one that's about do not open except for user inspection. Clean for pressure. This is all stuff from kind of NASA, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, if you want, go to shop.everydayastronaut.com. Again, that's shop@everydayastronaut.com. That helps me do what I do. And thank you guys for shopping. I love you guys. Because look at that, we have nothing now. There's no ground tanks. This is not looking good today, guys. Or at least not right now. Maybe later. Maybe they can recycle. Antivirus says, I'm glad I didn't get aboded after all. You may now laugh. I'm glad it didn't get aboded, but I think it did get aboded. Thank you, though, Antivirus. Insert laughter. From Ian Milko, sorry. What artifacts are Bob and Doug bringing back from the ISS? The only two that I know of for sure, they're bringing back the Earthy plushie, and they're also bringing back the flag that was brought up there by STS-135. So those are the two things that I know for sure they're bringing back. Mark again. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Hi, Tim, Jurassic Park car from OLF. Will you be on the podcast today? Great coverage of Perseverance launch. Just got chills from the go, no go too. I know the go, no go poll just absolutely gives me chills. If you guys missed Perseverance launch this morning, I did live stream it. It was 3 hours long. We had telemetry up on screen. Almost a perfect launch, except for I had 2 connection issues that were going to get solved and figured out for future use. And then we had the wrong telemetry of the first. We only had the first stage's telemetry on screen, not the second stage, so it looked like all of a sudden it was dying. It's not dying. It's on its way to Mars. All good and everything. So that was this morning. And if you need to know why Perseverance is awesome, and I already have a video comparing Perseverance to Curiosity rover. Although they're kind of brothers or siblings, there's massive upgrades to Perseverance. So they're That is official detanking. We're just gonna go. Try and fit this in on the screen. Sorry. Okay, it's not happening right now, but thank you from Kim. Thank you from Jack. Hello, fellow and Iwan here. Thanks for covering this, and thanks to all those who are filming this. Yes, big shout out to Rachel and Jean again at Space Padre Island for providing this footage for us and filming in 4K when the time comes. We'll have 4K slow-mo for you guys. Yeah. Everyone also say thanks to the mods and Discord. Hi. This is from Jeffrey. Did you ever do a video on the best viewing spots to watch rockets take off from Kennedy Space Center? Of course I did. I have a video already about that. Take a look. Just search Everyday Astronaut, places to watch rockets, Florida, or rockets in Florida, Florida rockets, whatever. You'll find it. Yep, got you covered. Stefan, thanks, Tim, for all your great work, and greetings from Germany. Hope there was a big show like Kiss/Rammstein. No, there is not a Kiss/Rammstein show happening. Unfortunately. And so far just gonna be a sad day of disappointment again. Rocket Sniper on a boat? No. Hopefully not. Thanks, Happy Hacking Video Blog again. This is from Jack. Every time Tim says really, we drink. Oh man, good luck with that. I hope you're drinking water, and even then you'll probably drown. Oh, Christopher Kren Klein bottle? Is this a Klein bottle for the win? I don't know what a Klein bottle is, but sure. Thanks, Christopher. From South Dakota Outback. Hello from South Dakota. What's my favorite color? Somewhere between orange and I also kind of like green, but I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, though. Let's see. The new launch date for James Webb Space Telescope is currently October 31st, 2021. They announced it 2 weeks ago. Okay, so they are targeting 2021, but being that it's still a year out, I would not expect it to launch in 2021, unfortunately. That's just how these things work, which is sad. Jeffrey Martin, thank you for the new membership. Russell Hoffman says, what is the drone in the air on the checklist? The last test I watched was serial number 4, failure. So they normally we can spot the drone. They normally put the drone up about T-minus 10 minutes before static fire. So that's kind of another thing, that's another signal that they're going to try to static fire. So when the drone goes up in the air, it heads out to the pad, and that's just them filming. So they use that for another angle. And yeah, hopefully it's just another signal. It's just another thing we use. Now that we don't have the flare stack to check out, it's one of the only things we have to be like, okay, they're getting close. New membership from Jeffrey Root. Thank you so much. Sector Shadow, hear me out. Starship Heavy, no way. Their heavy configuration is over. It's easier, especially once you're this big, just scale it. Make it the whole thing bigger. Was a shuttle once delayed by a boat? Probably. Wayward boats and wayward planes, that stuff happens. So, yes, I'll say probably. Welcome, Dominic. Thank you for the membership. Josh, thank you for the membership also. John Dungan, where is the fuel delivered from? How do they chill it? And could they just do that on site? Thanks, Tim. So currently they deliver fuel on trucks. They will eventually do it on site with basically in situ resource utilization using the Spadre process. They will eventually be able to make their own methane right there on site, and they chill it by compressing and running it basically through like a reverse compressor, I think, because I don't quite know how that works, but yeah, laws of thermodynamics. Yep. So that's eventually, I think we'll get there with that, and that'd be cool. How do you feel that the Russians didn't get the opportunity to say anything during this fantastic time, talking about the Demo 2 mission? Yeah, that is, I never really thought of that we didn't really hear the Russians talk about the Demo 2 mission. Yeah, although didn't they say something for a brief second when on the ISS? I definitely wish. Board Gorilla says compress it and then run it through a heat exchanger. That's how you chill it. But yeah, as far as I mean, I think the international collaboration is extremely important, especially on the International Space Station. I would have loved to hear from the Russian comrades up there about their thoughts and just to hear from them in general. I think that's the whole beautiful thing about the International Space Station. So yeah, that's my thoughts, and I am a little disappointed I haven't really heard from them. Are they detanking or tanking? This is detanking, unfortunately. Thank you, though, Hetty. Steve, last time I watched a launch live, it was a space shuttle. When Starship flies, I think I'll try to see that live. Yes, I agree. That will definitely be one to see. Elwin, considering the process SpaceX went through with Falcon program, what would be a reasonable timeline for full Starship to get to orbit? That's the thing, is you can't really compare the Falcon development to this. Because at the time, SpaceX was a tiny company. Now they're one of the biggest, most frequently launched spaceflight companies ever. They're just a totally different company now. But what they're working on, it's so hard to tell because it could go really quick. Once they kind of get things figured out, you don't know the unknowns, though. The unknowns are always unknown. So they will continue to learn things and find new problems and things and hopefully get it more and more reliable. But... you know, I still hold a little bit of hope that we might see an orbital Starship in 2021. Just a small. I'm only about 25%. My bet would be 25% chance that we see an orbital Starship before the end of 2021. That's my personal guess. But yeah. All right, when we have more Falcon Heavy prints available. Oh, that's a good question. I actually got to restock the store for prints. It's been a while since I've done that. I'll work on that here probably next week when the stuff settles down a little bit. This is from Barrett, Everyday Astronaut. Why doesn't SpaceX form the Starship body in a spiral like the Pillsbury roll can? Great question. We talked about that on Our Ludicrous Future. So again, I have a podcast that I do every week, and we have a Why Don't They Just section. And we've answered this. We've talked about this, I think, a couple times. Why you don't just spiral weld a single weld. There's a few reasons. Number one is the tank, the wall thickness actually gets thinner and thinner and thinner up the rocket. So you don't need as thick of tank walls at the top because it's not having to support the rest of the weight of the vehicle at the bottom. So you'd have to have like a continually tapering piece of sheet metal or metal. And the other thing is it's just a lot easier to do it where there's smaller rolls and it'd be a huge piece of metal. Yeah, and structurally too, from my understanding, it's not very good for vertical loads to have a spiral thing like that because it can, yeah. So I think this is just the right way to do it, I guess. But yeah, so you guys need to subscribe to our podcast. It's here on YouTube. We do it on YouTube as well as in your ears. You can find it easily by going to olfpod.com. All right, let me... From Kim, can I buy your astronaut suit? I want to burn it. I want to burn it too. It's just the smelliest thing. You will have toxic gases all up in yourself if you do that. From Calidor, isn't that venting? Yes, venting and detanking are very similar, but it is, I believe, officially detanked by the looks of things. There is absolutely no sign of cryogenic anything anymore. It looks very... So now we'll just wait and see if people head back out to the pad. It is definitely detanked. That's probably what will be my sign. Zora Sapphire. Hey, at least it didn't blow up this time. And that is, I know it's half a joke, but yes, like that is still a big deal. Like blowing up, SpaceX can kind of handle some failures because they're doing this so rapidly and iterating on the stuff so quickly that they can survive when a rocket blows up, and they've clearly learned how to do that okay. But at the same time, yeah, it's just really, it's still refreshing that they can survive and detank and tank and detank and not have a failure. That is still an important milestone. It's just simply not failing at this point. So, Google Klein bottle and educate your viewers. All right, let's just see what a Klein bottle is. I'm pretty sure it's Klein bottle. All right. A non-ordinary surface, two-dimensional manifold against which... Oh, that's right. They've used this in space, don't they? or not? I don't exactly know why we're looking at Klein bottles here, but we are, and I guess we're learning together. There you go. That's a Klein bottle. Not at all what I was drinking from. And now we all know. Let's see here. This is from John Moore. I love my normal face mask. When I explain to people what it means, they give me an eye roll and mumble, nerd, and leave me alone. Hey, that sounds great. It's 2 layers of protection here for social distancing as well. Oh, let's see here. Brian, Lab Pottery Steam says it's venting, not detanking. I mean, it's still, I mean, a little bit of a guess up in the air here, but when it's those 2 huge valves going off, that is indicative of detanking like we've seen in the past. So from my guess, that was a full-blown detank. We will see if vehicles head back to the pad anytime soon. How much money did the boat cost SpaceX for an abort? You know what? I mean, luckily, probably not like millions or anything. And I think they can recycle most of the fuel. Most of the fuel, I think, can. Some of it obviously gets bled out, but I think they can recycle some of it. But more time at this point. It's just time. They're paying dozens and dozens or hundreds of people really to be on console right now and be part of this exact thing. So when they scrub hours, pretend you're paying people $30 to $50 an hour and you have 100 of them, that's thousands and thousands of dollars down the drain just in wasted time and resources, you know. Let's get it done. It says to the moon, State Cardano, to the moon rocket, State Cardano on rocket, CTN pool rocket. I'm not entirely sure what all that stuff is, but thank you. Is that condensation on the tank? Ask PubStub. No, there's not really much condensation on the tank. It's shiny. It's a shiny rocket, and it's stainless steel, so it's almost a mirror finish. But there's not really. We're seeing some atmospheric distortion because we're almost, you know, about 3 kilometers away or so. But yeah, I don't think there's really any condensation on the tank. So people, you know, they can do an actual recycle of the fuels, right? So there's obviously pressure in this vehicle. It's pressurized to about 3 bar, 3 times atmospheric pressure. So when we see the venting like that, you're right. That doesn't necessarily mean detanking. That can just mean that they're depressurizing. And behind the scenes, we could be draining the fuel. So recycling the fuel, and that's what detanking would actually be. But still, considering what we're seeing here, this does still look like a detank to me. But I could be wrong. When are you touring Boca Chica? At this point, it's kind of a little bit on hold until the pandemic is safe to travel. But hopefully, before the end of the year, I really hope I can do that tour with Elon. And it's been talked about, and it's in the works. But we're just kind of at this point in a little bit of a hold. Jeffrey Martin says, are you going to take a ride on Virgin Galactic's new space vehicle? It's not necessarily new, but they finally have it like more finished up. But Spaceplane 2 is looking very nice. I don't know which I'd rather do, Spaceplane 2 or New Glenn or New Shepard. I'm frankly like I think I would feel a little bit more safe on New Shepard just because it seems to be a little bit more, you know, passively stable and things like that. But they both seem pretty cool, and frankly, I didn't used to want to do that, but it's feeling more and more like I really do want to do that. Ben H. So late 2021 Starship to orbit, then finally start testing on orbit refueling. What concerns while learning new processes capability? Yeah, it's the unknown unknowns that are almost impossible to predict. Otherwise, we'd know them and then we could predict them. So I don't really have a guess there as far as, you know, how long it's going to be before they start trying to practice the on-orbit refueling. I would guess they'll probably just get a couple launches to low Earth orbit, because they can get to low Earth orbit obviously without orbit refueling, and carry about 150 tons to low Earth orbit, which is insane. That'll be more powerful than a Saturn V and fully reusable. But I I don't know how long it'll take them to get to the point where they're practicing on-orbit refueling, and I have no idea how successful that'll be. Oh, so people are not sure what nominal is. Here, I'll show you guys what nominal is. It's not a typo. This is nominal comes from this gentleman here, which is a SpaceX commentator, which is John Innsbrucker, who is a principal integration engineer and host on SpaceX. One time he accidentally said the word nominal instead of nominal. Nominal means like all things are on track, and normal obviously means like everything's normal. He accidentally said nominal, and since then it has basically been cemented in spaceflight. So yeah, it's just kind of a silly little joke, but it is that. And we also have nominal shirts. So yeah, it's not a misspelling. It's just kind of a funny thing. Nominal. Now you know. I'm hearing reports that that they're having issues communicating with Perseverance, which would be horrible. And I'm going to pull this up here. So there's a press conference right now. But apparently Perseverance has a communication issue, unable to lock carrier signal. But hopefully that gets worked out. Oh, hopefully that gets worked out. Well, guys, I'm gonna probably leave this open here for you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna probably tune out because I got to get ready for a podcast that I record, and I'm probably gonna tune in. I gotta take a little break. I've just been at this since 4:50 this morning, and it's 10:40 local. So, yeah, I should probably take a little break. Meanwhile, real quick. John Innsbrucker is normally the best. I agree, Edwin. Thank you. And Patrick, can't wait to watch a launch live one day. Thank you for keeping us up to date the way you do. Big love from Serbia. Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop out. I'll leave this up though for you guys, and wait to kind of get more updates. I'm sorry, I just got to take a break. My voice is dying right now, and like I said, I have to record a podcast here soon. So, I'll be back. But yeah, we'll see. Well, I'll try to keep this thing in the loop. I'll keep you guys in the loop. So, all right, stay tuned. I'll probably sign out here once I know more if what's actually going to go on. So, thanks, guys. Well, it looks like I was right. There are some vehicles heading back to the pad right now. So it does mean that this is officially scrubbed for now. Sorry, I mean, yeah, I know this stuff sucks, but of course scrubs are cheaper than booms, as I say. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully just, it was a matter of that boat getting in the way and having to kind of reset a few systems before giving her another go. So we'll be in touch. I will pull this stream down here today, and then we'll reset it if we see something else happening again for tonight or tomorrow. I know for a fact that they really want to get this thing tested and fired and ready to launch here. So yeah, this is par for the course of a prototype vehicle. I told you guys, I've been saying this all along, like nothing's sure when you're dealing with a prototype like this. So real quick again, say a quick thank you to Rachel and Jean at Space Padre Island. Send them some love on Twitter. Show them some support. They've honestly just been a huge help, so we really appreciate them. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and for everyone who's been around and been watching for a long time. You guys are awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna head off. I gotta record a podcast now, so if you guys want to hear my weekly take on news and spaceflight and stuff like that, go to olfpod.com or find Our Ludicrous Future here on YouTube. Again, Our Ludicrous Future. So hopefully we'll see this test here this weekend, or by this weekend, tonight or tomorrow or something. We're all waiting, we're all excited for it, but at the same time, just glad that everything is good and the vehicle's still standing. So stand by, and again, hopefully if you guys yeah stick around. Also, if you are a Patreon member, stay tuned. I'm probably going to have to do some recording today or tomorrow to get some visualizations in Kerbal Space Program for the video that I'm doing about how to re-enter from space. So if you want to join and see more live streams from me, go to patreon.com/everydayastronaut, and I'll be posting the link here as soon as I kind of get a schedule. It'll probably be tomorrow when I record that. I'm going to let Andrew, our editor, get a good way through the edit on what we need to do, but I still need to record the rest of that. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions, but I'm going to go ahead and head out of here so I can head over to Our Ludicrous Future. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a little outro, but then I'm going to shut it down right away. So, all right, take it easy, guys. That's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Bye, everybody.